Hello there. Thanks for joining us on Business Incorporated. I am BC Adebayo. Coming up on the show, South African stock market surges, Rand hovers near three-year highs on Zuma's resignation. Plus, the International Monetary Fund forecasts 5% growth for Malawi's economy in 2018. And embattled Tunisian central bank governor resigns. Well, the South African stock market has surged more than 3% so far today in a reaction to President Jacob Zuma's resignation. The benchmark JSE index is up 3.97% at intraday as investors remain positive that the country's economy will return to winning ways after Zuma's exit. Well, here in Nigeria now, the all-share index is also 0.5% higher at intraday. Egypt is up 1.26%, while Nairobi closed positive at plus 0.34% on Wednesday. Well, the Gulf markets are not looking so good at intraday. The Abu Dhabi index is down 0.53%, and that's the same with the Dubai index, which is 0.17% lower at lunchtime. The Qatar index is also 0.36% negative. The Saudi index is the only one in the green with a 1% increase at intraday. And the markets in Europe were higher this morning as investors took stronger than anticipated U.S. inflation data in their stride and monitored corporate earnings. Well, let's talk to Ulrich Batz, who's standing by from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange to give us more updates from the European markets. It's good to see you again, Ulrich. So tell us, investors in Europe seem to have taken stronger than anticipated U.S. inflation data in their stride, and that's despite concerns that the Federal Reserve could hike rates more than in 2018. Now, what's driving this new optimism?
I think the assumption that it will take some time for the Federal Reserve to really pull the strings tighter and to make the rates go up in such a way that the market is actually affected and long-term rates get affected in a more durable way than they did in this flash in the last week and also going into this week. There's a rate hike of the Fed assumed to be happening in March, but of course that's one rate hike, and it remains to be seen how many and how strong they are in the further course of the year. And that's what one trader told me. He has a horizon of 6 months now where he wants to gauge where actually the market is going, how serious this was, and how serious a correction might sustainably be that one is looking at in the next months. Another trader said clearly, this is not over. The market is still nervous, even if on the surface the share prices you see here in the euro recovering seems to suggest that everybody's quite relaxed about it, but that's not really the case when you talk to the people here.
Now, how are stocks with a high exposure to South Africa, like Anglo-South African Financial Services Group and Old Mutual, as well as mining giant Anglo-American, reacting to President Jacob Zuma's resignation?
It's a clear sign from the stock market to the politicians. It's a sign of relief. Everybody's breathing a sigh of relief, and you can see that. South African stock index was up by as much as 5%, and especially banks, that is financial companies and retail strong, and Anglo-American, you mentioned, that's going up by 3%. The Rand is going up. So there is great relief that this is happening. It remains, of course, to be seen how durable the trend is when the new president announces what he has in store.
Now, talking about earnings now, Airbus is one of the companies reporting today and has announced better than expected results. What drove those numbers for Europe's biggest aerospace firm?
Yeah, it's net earnings tripled, and that's an astonishing figure. And this with tough competition with the other competitor on that level, Boeing. Airbus had an especially strong end of the year. Part of the picture is the sale, though, of a unit, the defense electronics unit. That brought a lot of money into the coffers of the firm. And then it just also has a lot of orders. The order book, hold on to your hats for this. Over 7,200 planes that are orders there for, valued at over 1 trillion euros. Now, one knows in the airplane industry, not all the orders are there until fruition. That is, some companies withdraw as they go bankrupt or as their plans change. But Airbus is indeed in a very healthy situation at the moment.
Thank you, Arich.